The Kentucky Derby's almost here, and you can get in on all the Derby Day action with FanDuel. That's right, you can bet the big race without leaving the Sportsbook app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app and bet America's #1 race with America's #1 Sportsbook app right now. 21 plus and reside in Virginia. Offer valid on first real money wager of 10 cents or more. Verified FD Racing account required. Bonus issued in non-withdrawable racing site credit that expires 7 days after issuance. Max refund $500. Restrictions apply. See terms at racing.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yo, 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 and welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. My name is Sanji, with me is Ross and Ryan. How you doing, boy?
Welcome. Oh my god, like, that's clearing up some old memories. What's up, guys? Been a while. How is everyone doing? I'm sure everyone's just happy to hear my voice, and I'm actually, you know what? Maybe United fans aren't happy to hear my voice because they're probably really upset that we have clinched our 20th title this past week, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, I thought it was the fitting time to bring you back on the pod after eons. Do you even remember the last time you recorded?
I don't. I don't. I had to dig up my mic. My sound isn't properly working, so I'm using my computer mic, and we're just hoping, that it works on your end when you're finally doing the and publishing and editing. So
yeah.
It's been a while. I was like, oh my god, we still use Audacity. We're still on Google Meet. We're still old school. We're still traditional. So I still love that.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right?
Yeah.
But Ryan, I mean, I don't want you to just sit in silence there, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good. The OG welcome is back, guys.
Yeah. It felt good to hear it, man. Ross, since you've been away from the pod, man, you've become a whole husband, a whole dad as well. Like, how's life on your end, bro?
Life it's good. I'm couple of good updates. I think the last one I did was before I got married, and then like right now I was just talking to my wife, and she was just like, oh, what are you gonna tell them, why you don't podcast anymore? And we're like, oh, it's my wife's fault. But she goes like, if you don't you dare, I will so it's not my wife's fault. It is just life got really busy, and I appreciate Ryan and Sanjit being really forgiving on trying to keep me in the loop, but also just running it from there. You guys do a really, really good job. And then that was 23, and then this year past February, my partner and I, we gave birth to a baby daughter, Layla. That's her name. She is very active. She's almost 3 months now. We kitted her up on this Sunday. Oh my god. She had the full kit. My brother in Dubai, who has access to a Liverpool store, bought a whole kit. So she had a kit, shorts, socks. We even put a red bow on her head. Things like that. So, and then everyone is like, oh yeah, you're what if she wants to be a United fan, or what if she wants to be a Madrid fan or a Chelsea fan? I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. She can choose whatever she wants in her life. This is the only thing she doesn't get to choose.
It'd be crazy if she was born into a title winning season, but by the time she's old enough to understand, Liverpool are trash or something.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone's messaging me this, be like, oh, you know what? When she's gets it and things like that, you'll be trashing, and I'm just like, it's all right. It builds adversity and it builds character. I mean, I look at all you Chelsea and United fans now, and you guys don't know how to lose, and you guys are just really sore about it. So I was just like, you know what? You need a humbling period of no success to actually, appreciate the big wins, and that's what it was on Sunday.
Yeah, that's why Ryan supports AC Milan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, AC Milan only show up against in the derby.
Yeah, yo. At least this season.
Yeah.
But that's sick. Yeah. You have to post a pic on the Discord, man.
I will. I don't know if I'm at the level yet where I can post pictures of my daughter yet. It's just this weird thing. It's just Disney culture, I'm assuming. I know, I'm sure, other people also follow it, but I'm just they were like, oh, is it video recorded? Do you want me to just bring up, Layla right now? I was like, no, it's not video recorded, but at the same time, I'm just we'll post pictures. I'll post pictures in chat. I'll send the picture in the chat. Actually, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
Yeah. My sister is very particular about having pictures of Emrys all over the place. Little does she know, I've sent his picture to so many friends without her permission. But good thing is she doesn't listen to the podcast, so win-win.
She won't know. She don't know. What doesn't know won't hurt her.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. So let me just get all the biz out of the way. We are a default Fantrax pod. You're listening to the free episode, and when I say free, it's because we have extra content that we put out on our Patreon as well, where we put out waiver episodes, sometimes do special guest episodes. The Inside Tracks is going to be hosted there in the future as well. And right now you can access all our content for just $1 a month. You're more than welcome to donate more if you think we deserve it. But yeah, in terms of what the free episode is about, it's basically just our Game Week to Game Week pod, where we kind of just recap stuff that's going on in the game week. And I guess the typical format is we have two halves. In the first half, we do a data dump. So we just discuss the default scoring categories. And then we do a league updates to kind of see how we're doing there. Any moves we need to make, that sort of stuff. And then we take our halftime pint. And then after the break, we jump back in to answer questions that we get from Discord and Twitter. I didn't actually check Twitter if we got any questions. I think everything came through on Discord. It's been a quick turnaround because, like, to kind of timestamp this, we're recording Thursday evening BST. And tomorrow, the next game week kicks off, right? So it's really, really quick turnaround. So we thought, well, let's try to just get out some content as soon as possible. Yeah, I think that's it. Ross, I'm not going to get you to do the social plugs. I'm just going to plug your old self.
Okay, all right.
It's been a while.
I think I remember them, but probably best to just use what we know.
So I'm going to let you do that right here.
Yeah, for sure. So you can message us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handles at BantaB. On Discord, in the Draft PL channel, Banter Boys, #6585. On Reddit, /Banta_boys. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all under the name of Banter Boys.
Okay, so hopefully you've listened to Ross's previous self. If you're listening to us on Spotify, if you haven't already liked the pod, please go to our main page, give us a 5-star rating. We're still a few away from that 100-point mark. Again, if you've already rated the pod, go grab your partner's phone or your kid's phone or your neighbor's phone. I don't know. Just don't steal somebody's phone. Rate the phone, give it back. Same thing for YouTube as well. If you're not already following us there or subscribed to us there, please do that. And if you are, please hit the thumbs up button, the like button. It massively helps us out with all the algorithms, all that sort of jazz, etc., etc., etc. Cool. That's all the boring shit out the way. Shall we just get started?
Let's go.
Ay, 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 ay. Fantasy with the Banta Boys.
All right, starting with the data dump. So just a reminder, this game week was a bit of a blank game week for some teams. Who blanked again? Crystal Palace, Man City, Aston Villa. There's one more. Why am I blanking on the one more, guys?
Arsenal,
right. Yeah, see, they're irrelevant. That's why I forgot about them. Anyways.
Arsenal Bantas, death taxes and Arsenal Bants.
Yeah, you gotta have it, But yeah, so we're gonna start with key passes as always. So the highest number of key passes recorded in game week 34 was 8 by Soboslai. He got that in 67 minutes. Then 7 key passes by Bruno Fernandes and Tonali, and then 5 key passes by Salah and Cunha. I'll get the thoughts of both of you guys. Ryan, you go first. Ross, you can go after.
Good to see Bruno here where he should be, but United is still rubbish at the moment. Tonali, is that all driven by the red card? Has to be, right?
Surely, yeah. You'd think so.
But
I don't know. I think he pops up with, especially when it's weaker opponents. I think there's definitely a lot of drive of Newcastle. I remember that double game week, Tonali was just killed it for that one or two games.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I find that they were let down this game week. Like the red card came pretty early. You were expecting a flourish from your Harvey Barnes, from your Isaacs. I mean,
Yeah.
it was slightly disappointing. I mean, they still returned, not Barnes, but Isaac did. It's just I was
Yeah.
expecting carnage.
Especially how their double game week went, right? Where they absolutely annihilated teams.
Yeah.
I agree. Like Isak as well, and we're gonna get to the shots part and see how many he had. But even on like the eye test, like the highlights, sure he got into good positions, built up a really nice XG, but it just looked like a striker that was kind of out of form a little bit, a bit rusty, like fluffing at shots, like just taking his opportunities a bit, like I don't know, rushed. I don't know. It was weird, but I agree. Like they really should have held. Ross, your Liverpool boys obviously here against Spurs, obviously.
I think, yeah, like the big part was, especially after going like 1-0 down, like it was just like, I think it was just the occasion. Like not to discredit Szoboszlai at all, but at a certain time I felt like every time we ran up with the ball, we were gonna score. And like same with like Salah. I think Salah is just like trying to get as many goals and assists right now at this point, right? So you can see like the team's trying to assist him as much as possible as well and things like that. And at the same time, he's just trying to like create pass chances as much as he can, because there's the two kind of like assists and goals that he's trying to go after, right? So like good to kind of like I feel like that was just like the occasion. Like it's one of those things like like there is a lot of talk with like Liverpool like fumbling at the end to the title, which results wise I don't think is true, but like performance wise you can definitely tell that they did kind of like had a bit of like I think we only won 1-0 against Leicester, which they're relegation bound right now. Try to like barely won against Everton, things like that, in games where like we would expect a lot more. So I think this was just like like we're gonna win the league. I remember when we won the league in 2020, and the game after was Chelsea, right? Chelsea's not necessarily a poor squad that season, like they ended up winning the Champions League, but like we ran riot for a while where we looked unstoppable and things like that, right? So like these occasions are just like hyped up. I'm expecting next couple of game weeks for them to be a bit more slowed down, especially knowing that like they don't want to like get super like they don't want to try to get in like Salah injured or whatever and whatnot, right? So bit more rotation there, but I think for them it was that Tonali I think is like it's the because we like forget like last game week they lost 4-1 to Aston Villa, right? So I think it is one of those things where they really show up against like lower table teams, and like Ryan's right, the red card comes so early that like Ipswich has a chance to like settle in and like make the changes and like become more defensively sound, because technically if they had won that game, Ipswich, they would have survived relegation for another game week, right? So but that loss was basically like gonna happen. So that was I think that for Tonali.
So Salah, I mean, fantastic season. He's chasing another record as well in terms of goal contributions. I want to say he's easily like still a top pick for next season, but the thing is we always see a drop-off once a player's had a stunning season, and I think next season there's also AFCON. I mean, speaking of like top picks, Ryan, I want to pick your brain quickly about Bruno before we move on from this category. Shit team, but still most key passes for the season, 84. If Amorim gets time, gets to buy the right players, do you think Bruno could possibly be underlooked next season as like a top 4, top 5 pick?
To me, that's what he is right now, because I think if you look overall, he is probably 4th.
Yeah.
So
which is crazy, right?
Yeah, it highlights how good he is individually in this format in Fantrax, but I do want to see a lot more from the team to trust. I mean, his consistency is insane, right? Like, he's one of the players you could trust week in, week out to deliver at least a double-digit score. But I just don't trust anyone else on that team at the moment.
Yeah. It's a real love-hate relationship with Bruno Fernandes. Like, you hate his face, you love his points. Like, yeah. And I mean, Cunha being on this list, Cunha just having a stunning season. If he stays with Wolves, he's easily a top 5, top 6 pick as well. Don't let the badge fool you. We're here to get Fantrax points. We don't care about anything else.
I mean, Sanji, I know you don't like to go into transfer stuff until it's done and it's official, but there's a lot of talk he's going to be in United next season, so that might impact him and his ability to play alongside Bruno or whoever their strikers up top. So
yeah, I want Bruno even more if he's playing with Cunha. I don't know. I mean, good players are on good players. They become better. They should absolutely thrive, right? But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The thing is, I'm also very hesitant on taking assets that are playing for a new team. James Maddison for Spurs, for example. I mean, we know he's fairly injury prone and stuff like that, but yeah, he's had a weird season under Ange, and I mean, there's no doubt how talented he is, and how good of a Fantrax asset he can be. But yeah, that's definitely one to monitor in the preseason and all that. Okay, let's move on to shots. So we're gonna look at who had the most shots and how many won target. So, highest number of shots attempted in Game Week 34 was 8 by Garnacho. He had 1 on target. Raul Jimenez had 7 shots, only 1 on target against Southampton. And then 6 shots attempted by Isak and Cunha. Isak had 1 of his 6 on target, and Cunha had 3 of his 6 on target. Thoughts, Ross? And then Ryan, we'll go to you.
Yeah, fairly standard stuff, right? The Garnacho one, I think that at the start of the season, it was one of those things that he was having a great season, and I think he's dropped off since then. He being compared to old United greats and whatnot, and what he can be, and I think more recently it hasn't really kind of flourished as much, especially after the second half of the season when they were expecting them to kind of knock on and be more regular with the goal involvements. I haven't seen the highlights just because United are so boring. Who wants to even see the highlights for those games? But I'm gonna get killed by the United fans, but I don't care.
It's okay. 90% of our Discord are Liverpool fans, so you'll be fine.
That's great. I'm sure then they'll love this content, and I'll even dig into a bit more. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's eight shots and 1 on target, what's going on? You can count, sort of give some sort of credit if getting in some good positions, but at the same time, I'm just if you are trying to win it for your team, 1 on target is kind of disappointing. Other than that, I think Jimenez, I think he's had a decent season so far, and then Isaac and Cunha, I think they're usually ones that are on top of the list, and like you said, Isak would have been just not looking fully in form yet for some reason, even though it's towards the end of the season and they're making a push for a Champions League spot. So, but the shots are being there, and he's getting a lot of chances towards him. So I think they've got a good up three with Jacob Murphy and Isak and Harvey Barnes. So I think that's still a good sign.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, you I mean, nothing much to add really. It's just a shame that these guys only put 1 on target out of their abundance of shots, because I find a lot of the games this game week felt a lot more one-sided than normal.
Yeah.
And it's just they did not capitalize on it.
Yeah. I mean, seeing these numbers, and I know we play Fantrax, but I mean, we also play FPL, right? Yep. And as owners of Jimmy. Jimenez and Isak, extremely disappointed seeing these numbers.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty crazy. All right, next is accurate crosses into the box. So highest number was 4 by Jacob Murphy, and then 3 by Ryan At-Nouri, Damsgaard, and Traore, Adama that is, and he got those in 45 minutes. Thoughts, Ryan, and then Ross?
Good to see Dams a bit back in form. I think he got 2 or 3 key passes this game week.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what that dip was about. Was it just different team dynamics? Was he going through something? But he's not quite where he should be. But good early grab and season asset I'd still hold. Happy to own for the playoffs. Jacob Murphy, what a player!
someone we slated so many times that has kind of just like ruined our seasons as well. I remember last season, or you were in a playoff, you trusted him, he got fuck all for you, and now he's like the best player in the game.
Honestly, so good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I picked him up early, and I think it's one of those things where you're just like, oh, Jacob Murphy won't make it into the starting 11 for this Newcastle side, and then I think he has a couple of really good big games, and you're just like, oh no, like, you know, this player wasn't a pre-Eddie Howe sort of one and just on his way out. It was a player that was going to hopefully consistently stay on and like has essentially established his spot on that wing. But again, a lot of that is not saying that like Jacob Murphy isn't regularly putting up those numbers, but a lot of it is that like they're going up against a team that has the low block going, and like, you know, they're putting the ball on the wing a lot to cross it in and stuff. So I'm sure like, you know, the numbers are maybe a bit inflated that way. But overall, I think he still fully deserves because he regularly puts up those points. Ait Nouri, I think like, you know, Wolves have one of the best records in Europe right now since like, you know, new manager came on. So it'll be good to see kind of if this team is picked apart a bit next season, if, you know, these players tend to go on maybe something bigger or better, or if this team can like stay some sort of consistency with their squad and maybe make a push for top 10, maybe Europe, but we'll see.
Yeah. Since I guess April 1st, it's funny we talked about these two players. Jacob Murphy has scored the most points, 104 points, been averaging 17.33 points per game. And then second is actually Ryan Ait Nouri, 96 Fantrax points, been averaging 19.2 points per game.
What?
Yeah. Insane.
Higher average.
Yeah. A bit, I guess a bit more explosive. Like one less starts.
One less game.
One less game, something like that. But yeah, I came up against Ryan Ait Nouri, so I mean we'll get to league stuff, but yeah. Final one is extra categories. So tackles won, highest number was 5 by Kenny Tete. Dispossessions, a high of 5 by Ndidi. Interceptions, there was a high of 4 by Caicedo and Luke Thomas. Clearances, there was a high of 13 by Joachim Andersen. Successful dribbles, there was a high of 7 by Kudus. Aerials, there was a high of 10 by Joachim Andersen again on this list. And then finally, block shots, there was a high of 4 by Ben Davies from Spurs. Ryan, thoughts, and then Ross.
I mean, a fairly standard-ish list. Kenny Tete coming right back in. Ghosting like a mofo. So good. Picked up right where he left off before getting injured. So glad for those owners who were able to grab him. He kind of went under the radar even after coming back last game. Yeah. Anderson topping 2 lists. Good for him. It highlights how competitive that game was, though, and it shouldn't have
against
been.
Southampton. Yeah.
Like they conceded the early goal. I think a lot of Southampton defenders did well.
Ryan Manning with the assist from the set piece.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a confusing one. Like I wasn't actually expecting a lot of ghost points for a Fulham defender, but so be it.
Yeah.
And Kudus, man, what a disappointing season.
Yeah. It's gonna be so interesting how people value him in next season's draft, man.
I'm not doing it. Like it's 5th round or lower. Like I'm not going higher.
Yeah. I think like I've learned my lesson from this season after finally trusting him is Bowen or nothing from West Ham.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bowen or nothing. Yeah, I think it's true. Yeah.
Like he might not score ghost points, but goddamn, anytime West Ham gets something, he's in the points. It's crazy.
But do you think Bowen finally recognizes that like he's not getting anywhere with this team?
I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah. Like there's always that speculation, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's always like, you know, like he would fit into almost any of these Premier League like big teams. So. Yeah,
but the thing is like he's the main man of West Ham. Why would you want to give that up, right?
Trophies, accolades,
more money,
money, Saudi's calling, yo. Solid
Yeah.
scrolling.
But it could also elevate your game to just play amongst better players too, right? Like, he could
Yeah.
have a next level to him. You don't know.
Yeah. You could. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to league updates. Ryan, we'll start with you because I know you're running a bit short on time and stuff like that. I'll let you go first. Tell us how Game Week 34 went, mate.
So I'll start with the bad. I'll start with DPL. I came up against Robbie. I kind
Ooh.
of gifted him the win because I was
Yeah.
like middle of the table, nothing to play for. I just played the ass, and I went for Solly March. I went for there was another one. Let me check. So I lost by 14 points, 106 to 92.
Yeah.
So I grabbed Solly. Oh, it was really just Solly was the biggest gamble, and James Garner. Both of them big flops.
All right.
I had on my bench Damsgaard, didn't trust him because of recent form, so didn't want to play him, and didn't
Yeah.
want to go into last game relying on him. But I also had on my bench Solanke, so there were points on my bench that would have edged me to win.
Yeah.
The game week good though. Trippier, man, he's dusting it off and kind of reverting to his classy self.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, ridiculous grab as well, but he did all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you went there after we spoke about it,
Yeah.
like during the week. Yeah.
Enzo, we just talked about
Ugh.
how good he's been this
What
season.
a lad. Yeah.
And that's it. I would have said Evan Nielsen had he not gotten the red card. And
Yeah.
I saw that he got it rescinded, right? So
Yeah.
kind of shit
Yeah.
for those owners.
Sucks, yeah.
Because that's a biggish swing.
I saw in some chats, like, apparently it affected people's league matchups and stuff like that as well.
So it for temporarily FPL reversed it and then they put it right back on.
Right. Okay.
But
So it must have been a temporary glitch in the matrix.
I think
that kinda
maybe
caused-
the stats kind of
Yeah.
temporarily just messed up. It's gone. Like, he has the red card for the game week again. So it's
okay.
a 0.5 return.
Yeah.
The also came up against Cunha, so like not much you could do there, right? Robbie's team was
I
actually
think, yeah, top scorer for the game week, I think, Cunha, right?
solid 40.
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's DPL. I don't really have any roster concerns because I have a bunch of streamers that I can just chop and change. But
Yeah.
I'm 8th. The best I can finish is probably like 6th. So it's not like I'm playing for much. So I'm just playing around.
Just trying to fuck with people. at this
Basically,
point.
and I kind of didn't want to. I wanted to if I beat Robbie, I wanted to do it with like a lot. So I just went for like these high upside plays. Obviously, it didn't work out, but
Yeah.
IGL won there on a 5-game win streak, I think, and I am still second, but I'm within range of first. And I have the higher points
Okay.
for, so it does come down to the
Nice.
final game week. I do,
Which
need-
is like next week. This week is
Yeah,
the final game week,
this-
right? Oh,
ga-
crazy!
so I need my
Yeah.
I need the first place opponent to beat him, and then I win
Yeah.
mine, and I should take first. So it's
Yeah.
close.
Can you trade with that guy that's playing him?
Ooh, I'll go take a look. But I
Yeah.
can't finish any lower than second, so I get payout there regardless.
Amazing. Ah, so you're getting money.
Yeah,
Lovely.
and I get into the next round.
Yeah.
So the game week good here, I went heavy on Wolves defense like you did, I think. So
Yeah.
Josesa, Agbadu, I grabbed Kenny Tete since the moment he was on the bench or since he was announced back in his squad, I picked him up.
Yeah.
McAllister still doing somehow what he does.
Amazing.
Enzo
Second half of the season, Mac, yo.
always second half of the season. Jacob
Yeah.
Murphy, yo, and
Ah.
Luis Diaz. So I finished a healthy 140 versus 103.
Okay. That's a great team.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you stuck it around with Diaz because the last few games he's been like second coming of Mane almost, right?
He has been
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
It's insane.
So it's been good.
Volatility season, but like repaying the fate for those who kept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no real regrets. I mean, I did bench Dam's hair too, and I picked up William, but William did okay. I picked up Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson did okay, and it didn't really cost me anything. So,
yeah.
Are
you concerned about your Liverpool boys now that they've kind of got the title?
I am concerned for Diaz, not so much Mac. I think Mac is going to play and do well enough. I was considering trading out Diaz because game week 36, they have a tough matchup against Arsenal, and the playoff, quote-unquote playoffs in IGL is really like a perfect 11 type format where I want to score as high as possible in game week 36, so I don't need Diaz to do that. So I could just go target, I don't know, who has the best fixture in 36.
Yeah.
And see if I get there, like I get through.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely a sell high on the list right now. Like.
Yeah.
But no real...
I mean, you could try and get a Brentford player.
That's it,
possibly.
Right?
Brentford playing Ipswich, right, in game week 36.
Yeah. So no real roster concerns because I have assets on the bench who just blanked this game week. And, you know, like, for example, Saka's one of the assets I didn't have this game week. So
yeah,
I do worry that he's not going to start because of UCL, but don't need him. Went the whole season without him.
They might already be out of UCL at that point too. So
true.
I'm just here for the bands, guys.
Ross, do you have any questions for him about his updates or anything like that?
I think, it's a solid team. Like, if you're at this point, like in your, like, if you're almost guaranteed a second spot, like it is maybe making sure that like you can go for that first spot and like make those risks, right? So there's a bit of payout and there's still that promotion still there, but like, like why? And then for the other one, like I think you can like treat it as every game's like a cup final for you, right? So you want to make it really hard for your opponent, just for the sake of it, right? No, there shouldn't be an easy game, and there's no reason for you to like take that easy. Like it sounds like you have two really good teams on paper at least. So,
my DPL is horrible. I didn't call the rest of them. It's awful.
Yeah, it's stark contrast to his IGL team.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah,
the likes of Brennan Johnson is my forward number 2.
Oh yeah, that's my DPL team. I'm like hanging on by a thread at the moment, but we'll get to that in a second. Cool. Shall I do mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you have anything else you want to add actually on your updates?
I just want to shout out to both of us for progressing in Super and flopping hard in Bash.
Yeah, true. Our presser video was fantastic though, Ross. I don't know if you had a chance to go watch that. So our Banter Bash League, the 24 manager 5-a-side. Yeah. So we did a forfeit this season, just during the league phase. That the lowest team scores or whatever has to do like a video presser or an audio presser, some sort of AI generated thing, and the team that gets the highest score that game week gets to ask the question. And lo and behold, we got it on the final game week possible. But I was over the moon because I've been telling Ryan, like, I really want to do a presser. And so we did one like Bielsa style where I spoke in Spanish and he did the translation. But Ryan's translation was exact opposite of what I was saying. Honestly, if you want to go check it out, we posted it in the Bash Band channel on our Discord, which is free to join, right? But yeah, it's a nice laugh, okay. I'd say.
I'll go check
cool. I will do my league updates then. Before I do that, I'm gonna just pop this. Oh, I didn't do the pop. I thought I was gonna do the pop. It was a screw top, but I was gonna pour myself some champagne because I finally won my fucking first community league title. Let's go, baby.
Yay.
I'm just pouring myself
some
champagne. All right, yeah. So after 5 losses in a row, I finally won. So Ryan, thank you for putting up with all my whiny behavior for the past 5 weeks. To those people that know who they're like I'm speaking about as well, shout out to like the likes of Robbie and stuff like that. I was in their DMs, just basically like being a little bitch, just crying the entire time.
For sure.
I mean, I like 5 losses in a row. Come on, man. After the 5th one, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna bottle this title because 2nd and 3rd beneath me won again this game week, and like they've been chasing me down non-stop trying to win. But luckily, IGL, it ends after game week 35, the league phase. So yeah, got the win, 152-81. Shout out to my triple Wolves defense.
Yo.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that Vardy pen come up, I nearly cried in Paris. Like, I was like following the scores, not watching the game, and like the messages came through. Yo, Vardy pen. I was like, bro, no, we can't do this. Like, honestly, the game week was such a roller coaster of emotions because, in terms of like the standout players, yes, okay, Semedo, Totti made it over there. Sep from today, Bowen, we talked about how good he did. Nico Jackson only getting like just under 11 points despite scoring a goal. Salah finally coming good after like a lot of blank game weeks as well. But shout out to Sessegnon, man. That goal in like the 96th minute, that hit like crack.
Yeah.
Like... That felt really, really fucking good. Regrets, no regrets, obviously. Won the fucking title, let's go. No waiver pickups for IGL or DPL because everything's processing tomorrow. So guys, don't get caught out if this pod comes to you in time, that is. Roster concerns, nothing. But it's like you said, Ryan, we're still playing for like, I guess, perfect 11. We can't like go to sleep basically, right?
Yeah.
We gotta still try and put out a good team or the best team possible because there's other prizes to be won. There's more money to be won, that sort of stuff. But yeah. In terms of DPL, so I came up against 2nd place. I think I was in 3rd place. So I managed to get a win against him. So now I'm 2nd, clear by 3 points because I think he was winning by points 4. So I won 116-100. Standard performers, Sanchez getting a mega haul against Everton in net. Semedo as well. Again, I just went for the Wolves defense. Enzo Fernandez we touched on, and McAllister as well here. He's been absolutely lights out for the last few game weeks. Regrets, again, no real regrets. Maybe benching Sepp van den Berg, but again, got the win, can't complain too much. Roster concerns, it's really just like trying to find a dependable defender 3 or forward 3 because I think my forwards there are Pedro Neto, Brennan Johnson, and Fulkrug. So like it's really like there's no guaranteed starter out of that lot, right? And in terms of the defender 3, I guess like I've kind of picked up my defender 3, which is Sepp van den Berg, because my other defenders there are Milos Kerkez and Mikolenko. I think they're 2 solid defenders to kind of have on your roster. Semedo, I don't know if I'm going to play him against City. And I have Munoz. I forgot. He blanked. So, you know, that might be okay. Maybe I just need a forward. That's what I need, a forward. Do you have any questions, guys?
No, congratulations.
Yeah, yo.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did it the hard way for no reason.
Oh, listen, I was losing my shit. Ross, you can even ask Ryan, man. I was crying every day.
Yeah.
he got so annoyed with me. He was like, just shut up, dude. Like, you're gonna win.
He had a giant
squeaky
point
bump
score.
time. No, squeaky bump time. It's real, right? You know.
Yeah, it is.
So
I just wanted to win it at the same time as Liverpool. That's all.
Yeah, basically, I was like, even with like being 12 points ahead of Arsenal, like I was always like, man, like what if we lose 4 games in a row? Like I would not be able to live this down, right? So
same, dude.
So,
yeah, that's what I was thinking about my IGL title. Like
he called the loss on himself,
finally.
like within kickoff, basically of last game week.
Yeah,
that's Sanji's ever since we started playing fantasy. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna come last. I'm gonna do this. Like, so I'm not even surprised, but. You know, he tells himself, he reverses it. He goes out, he puts negative energy out there. Hopefully, like, it reverses some sort of karmic energy for him. So, I guess it worked.
Yeah, I mean, it works in FPL, right? I thought it would work in Fantrax, but it just kept coming true. And at that point, I was just like, I'm just gonna shut up now. Like, I don't care. I'm just gonna go on vacation. Yeah, going on vacation helped.
True.
If anyone's going through a bad streak, go on vacation. This is a stupid game.
Mental break.
Ross, we always repeat your message at the end of every pod. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun, guys. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Like I think if you can have the balance with it, you'll get some and you can give some, right? So you just make sure the times you get to give is like gonna be good. So make sure you really bloat that win, Sanji. You don't know if you're gonna have to wait 20 years.
You have no idea how much I'm gonna milk this win. I guess that's it for my league updates. Ross, we didn't have anything scripted for your league updates, but is there anything you want to kind of touch on in your league?
No, so I guess I'll give a really large overview, right? Of what my league has been. I had a really bad draft. For I think 7 or 8 games, I was second last, basically tied for last, at the start of the league. And then I think I went on this really good, out of 20 games, I think I'd won 15 or 16. And I pushed myself up to playoff spots. And then at one point I was 6 points off of first, or 9 points off of first. But then I I let go and I lost a couple of games here and there. But no, I think I've settled my my playoff spot, 6th, maybe 5th, depending on what game week 35 looks like. The reason why I had a bad draft is my first 2 picks were Trent and KDB, and the one time I was I gonna go for KDB because he's right there, and I was my picks were 10, 11, so I was I'm gonna go for it, but KDB was very disappointing. Injuries aside, I think he just didn't have a good season. And then and then for a while he was out of the squad. And then now I think because he's leaving next season, Pep's kind of giving him a celebration inclusion in the squad or whatever. So I think though, but then I think we've talked about this a billion times. You can draft as bad as you can, but I think there's always the opportunity to improve your squad through pickups. So I pick up the likes of Kirkez, Estupinan. Right now my team has 4 Newcastle players. I have Shar. I picked up all these 4 for the double game week and realizing I was no, I can keep these players for So I have Shar, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy I picked up, Tonali I picked up. This week I picked up Matt Swifer, who's had a couple of really decent games for Brighton. Sanji, I know this player I picked up I drafted and then I dropped, but then I picked him up right at the time when his form kicked in, was Cody Gakpo. Did not have a good start this season, was regretting it. I was just hearing Sanji's voice in the back of my head being no, this guy's not worth it, this guy's not it. And I'm just but he had such a great Euros for Netherlands and stuff. And then, and I was there's a Netherlands connection, Arne Slot is gonna hopefully play him, and then eventually, injuries kicked in and he showed his dependability. So I've stuck with I picked him up right at the, I think it's 8th or 9th game week when he had a good turn in form, and then has mostly kept with him. And then I picked up Jurgen Strand Larson. Trent's on Trent was on my bench, but he's gonna come in as an auto sub. And Spence for Spurs. So I think most of my team, barring I think Trent, KDB, and technically Gakpo, are everyone else. Oh yeah, and my goalie's Flecken. That was I think
cheat code.
And then when I saw the assist today, I was oh, this is just lovely. I didn't need the assist to win this week, but I was just you know what, this just adds a little bit of extra icing on the cake. So playoff is secure, and I'm not expecting anything for going into it. I think I have 40 fab, so I'm gonna make sure I can make most of it. And then hopefully it's a good, Newcastle's fighting for the spot. I don't think Trent's gonna play that much, so I think that might just need to kind of figure out what doing there. And I'm hoping KDB gets a last hurrah with Man City, so they have nothing else. So
cool. Nice, man. Yeah, Cody absolutely cooked, and yeah, I'd definitely be holding KDB for the final few games.
They're still
I feel like
pushing
he's
for
just
Europe.
gonna go ballistic in one
Yeah,
of those games.
exactly.
Yeah.
He did go one game. I think he went ballistic. He went really true to his former game. So I was like, okay, like, you know, there's definitely something happening here, and I'm hoping, like, you know, outside of like the blank game week, he's still been performing decently recently. So
yeah, cool. All right. Those are our league updates, guys. So now what we'll do is we'll take our halftime pint, and we will be back after the break with some questions. So we'll see you in a bit. And we are back. So Ryan had to drop off the call because I think he went to go play football or something like that.
Lucky.
Totally understandable. So Ross has decided to, you know, graciously give us his time, and you know, we it's been a while, buddy.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I think it's the least I can do.
Have you been following or keeping up with what's been going on?
In what regards? Like everything?
Like the Discord or the community?
I try to be like chiming in the Discord every once in a while. Discord gets really overwhelming. Like you'll have like 20 notifications for like 400 messages.
It's crazy.
And I'll just be like, yo,
right?
bro, I don't know what to read. Have I actually been tagged, or is it one of those general tags? I'm like, at everyone, at Liverpool fans, right? So and like I honestly have like, you know, usually when you have like when I'm working, I don't like, I thought I could do like audio and like things like that, but like I can't, so I need like quiet so I can just focus on that too more. Like that would be the time where I could like listen to the pod, and then after that I'm just like so no, I mean it makes sense, you know, I stopped listening and I've done really poorly this season, so it totally makes sense. So if this is any shout out for the Bantam Boys podcast, it's like you listen, you might win your league. So
oh, thanks, buddy. I mean, listen, you're always welcome on the pod. You are the OG founding member of this podcast and everything, right? People, the thing is, like now, like our community has grown so much. Like we've got new additions to like our Discord that they've heard of who you are, but they don't know who you are.
Yeah. Like the man, the myth, the legend.
And there you go, bro. Yeah, the real ones in the back will know who you are, man. But anyways, we've got some questions, so I think let's jump straight into those. I'll kick things off with Dingus Amingus. What is the best stadium food? What dish would you add to stadium menus? So I mean, like you've been to a Prem game, right? One?
I haven't been to any Prem games. I think the only stadium I've seen is Watford, and I've only done the walk around outside of Watford. Yeah. I haven't actually been inside. So the goal was to try to get out during like, you know, once the season started in this thing, but I don't think that's happening right now with a toddler. So yeah. Hopefully the plan is the really good part is my partner is really on board. She was like she's fully bought into like, oh, we need to go to Anfield. Yeah. Like so 100%. So I think it's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen. Yeah. I just have to make sure it happens eventually. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll happen. But I mean you've been to like other sporting games, right?
Yeah.
So like
so I think
what's some of the best food you've tried there?
Honestly, it's so expensive. But you know what I found really weird? Popcorn at like sporting events is always like something weird where you're just eating popcorn and like it's like something's happening in front of you. So I don't know if it's like a food I'd want to add, where it's maybe a food be like maybe like is popcorn actually what it is, right? Yeah. I don't drink or anything, so like I don't have anything there. Yeah. But I know in the last 2 or 3 years, not just North America, but like all over the world, they've done a really good job at like not making sure it's just like a cake and like hot dogs and stuff like that. They've made it more cultural. So I think what I would really like to do is maybe add doubles onto some of these things, you know?
I love that. Yeah. I wrote that in text in the response as well. And people were like, spoilers, bro, spoilers. But 100%, bro, I'd add doubles. You mentioned as well, like, we've been like keeping in touch, obviously. You found some double spots in KW?
Yeah, there's one that's really like right next door. And honestly, Sanji, like the spice reminded me the time that you made it for me, right? So I was like, I was dying, but I was like, oh, this is so reminiscent of when Sanji made it with his neighbor auntie's like special spicy sauce.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man. Gotta love some pepper, man. I don't know. Other than doubles, I'm wondering, is there anything else you possibly add? Poutine? I don't know. Is poutine like a must?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like outside of Canada, I don't know if there's a lot of appreciation for poutine. Like, even though it has all the right ingredients,
Yeah.
and it would be really well, like, it's literally fries, cheese, and gravy. Like, I feel like that's very much up the alley within the UK.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do they do like spice bags? Could you do a spice bag at a stadium?
What's the spice?
I don't know if you've had
What's a spice bag? I don't think I've had this.
I think it's really big in Ireland. So they do like, like you take chicken out, you put the curry sauce, and then there's fries, and then like you put the curry and curry sauce on top, and then you mix it all together. But I haven't really had it. I've just like seen it all over my feed and be like, oh, when you're in Ireland, go have a spice bag.
Damn. That sounds really good. That's like making me think of like Laziz on the rocks. Like
yeah. So my other thing was like, and like I will play around with the Scouse accent just because, but like my wife goes like, you go to Liverpool and you do the Scouse accent, you're gonna get like stabbed. I'm like, no, like, everyone in Liverpool is really welcoming. Be like, the chicken and the kind of coke,
Hey! Nice. Really nice.
It's a good inclusion.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They're a very friendly bunch. I'll give you that. Do you want to take our next question?
Yeah, so from Discord, user Sweetness McBossman, cool username. Say theoretically, while taking exams, you could cheat off one current EPL player without consequences. Which player would you choose to help boost your scores?
Oh wow, that's a really good one. Huh. Do I pick someone that's really smart? Like I'm trying to think of like who's really smart or who will actually help me cheat. Maybe I go Bruno Fernandes.
Wasn't there the United player who like scored like the double and then had to go write his O levels or A levels, not O levels, that's too young. A level exams like the next week or something?
Was there?
Like that was last season?
Maybe. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. A midfielder or something.
Yeah. Was it? No, it wasn't Kobe Mino.
No.
But I feel like there was someone.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Like the thing is, am I cheating off somebody that's like really intelligent or somebody that's gonna like help me cheat, like be good at cheating themselves, right?
But then, like, what if the person who's probably like, can you really guarantee the person who's gonna help you cheat, like, knows the stuff? Right?
Yeah, true.
Like, so I think you need to really find the balance there.
Yeah.
Like, who are smart, like, Prem players?
Like, I assume people that are like really good playmakers or something like that would be smart players.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a James Ward-Prowse sort of individual.
Man, he's dropped off completely as an asset now, though.
Hey, it don't matter. Like, I feel like he's. I think that was just a bad move for him.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Very true. What about you? Would you pick anyone? Like anyone that comes to mind?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, like a James Ward-Prowse, because like I know Southampton have a really good like academic / footballing like academy sort of format.
Okay.
So like I'm assuming he's like done his like basics.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Right. So
cool. We go with James then.
Right. He's done his O levels and A levels. So
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So our next question comes from Mr. Nauru. Oh my god, this question started a whole next level discussion in our channel for questions, only for questions, but people decided to have a full-on thesis discussion about this. So you're in an arena with 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, and 4 lions. You need to pick 2 to defend you. The others attack you. The goal is to survive for 1 hour. Which 2 are you picking, Ross?
So for me, like I saw this question. For me, the non-negotiable is you need to have the 10,000 rats on your
Oh, really?
Like, why wouldn't just on pure volume?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want pure volume? It's not about how well they can defend you. It's just about like how overwhelmingly they can just like make it for.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So in that sense, I feel like the 10,000 rats is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And after that, it's really about what's gonna be like good for you. And for me, like it's like the goal isn't winning, the goal is surviving an hour.
Yeah.
So I was like 10,000 rats and like 15 wolves. Because like wolves have a really good survival instinct.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean, for anyone that wants to see the discussion, it's on Discord. It's in the Pod Questions channel as well. I saw a lot of people defending the 10,000 rats. So are you like very much like you're the Pied Piper? You can control these rats. Is that what we're going with?
I don't know. Like I feel like they know that they have to defend you. So there is that. Have you seen like where like there's this like mythical subway rat creature where they all of them like tie their tails together and there's this like this big coordinated rat like king, which is just like 10 rats who've tied their tail together and then one rat on top of that like controlling them. Like I'm assuming that can happen with like 100 of them, so 1,000 of them. So
it's
like
this is like Power Rangers, when they all kind of combine into like the Megazord or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then like with like the hunter, I was like, does the hunter have unlimited ammo?
I was thinking that. Yeah.
Like you have to like think about the time it takes to like put the bullet in, get your gun ready and ready to shoot. I feel like in all of this, I don't know if it's gonna be, and in that time, one of the wolves can just go, like ham on the hunter. So
yeah. I can see the argument for the 10,000 rats, but I am kind of stuck between the 4 lions, the 5 gorillas, and the 3 brown bears.
Is it just like just majestic, large animals?
Just like I wasn't thinking majestic. Yeah. I thought like the craziest possible, like angriest version of them, and like. Yeah, I feel like the lions and gorillas are potentially lethal. I mean, maybe the numbers are a bit low, and I guess, 50. It's 15 wolves. 15. Yeah, that's a lot of wolves.
Yeah.
So I see the argument for
exactly.
it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, for those that want to answer this question, I think drop your answers in the comments for the podcast. I can't wait to see what people actually have as their options. All right. Do you want to take our next question?
Yeah. So this is from Sharp Kudri. Any previously nailed Liverpool assets almost droppable now?
So I know you asked it, but I feel like you should answer it, given you're the in-house Liverpool fan.
I think Trent might be droppable. I think Robertson might be droppable. I don't think Salah is droppable. I think Salah's there for the records.
Yeah.
I think the midfield mostly stays as well, but I feel like someone like Curtis Jones or someone like Harvey Elliott maybe get more minutes. I don't see like a significant, maybe just early substitutions is what's gonna happen. So I think like that's maybe something to be wary of. Maybe Konate gets dropped, but not Van Dijk. I think maybe Kelleher gets the spot in goal over Alisson, right? Like neither of them are really chasing the Golden Glove award. I don't think so. I think they're pretty far behind.
Yeah.
So just because like they just haven't played consistently long enough, right? So like my thing with Diaz is like I think Diaz plays because he's just been really. I think mostly the lineup stays unchanged. You'll see maybe more rotation up 3 with like Darwin, Nunez, and Jota playing up top.
Yeah.
I think maybe Chiesa gets a few more games, maybe a couple of games as well.
Yeah.
Especially in the latter end. And then midfield is mostly gonna remain unchanged, but I think there will be earlier substitutes. So like I think like a Curtis Jones maybe comes in a bit earlier. A Harvey Elliott maybe comes in a bit earlier as well.
Harvey, man, I really wish he got more minutes this season.
Yeah, and like I think like there was an injury in the middle and like things like that. Slot's been really consistent with his lineup.
Yeah.
Outside of whoever the other 2 forwards are.
Yeah.
So so it's one of those things, right? So
yeah.
I think it's a wait and see.
Yeah.
Like is Slot gonna be like, actually, we're done for the season.
Yeah.
We won, or be like, no, let's actually try to get as many points as possible because they're still on track to make 94 points if they win.
Yeah.
the rest of like their 4 games, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, listen, it's still crazy that you guys have won a season with 82 points. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. Anyways,
yeah, poor Klopp, but that's all right.
yeah. Okay, so our next question is from Sweetness McBossman again. For those of us who didn't pick him up off waivers, what do you think is a fair trade offer or two to send out for Amad Diallo?
Yeah, because people are surprised he's back this early.
Yeah. He was on the bench for the Europa game.
Yeah, exactly, right? So United have one more leg of the Europa fixture left, even though they won. I think the final score was 3-0. I didn't see the final score.
Final score, was 3-0. Yeah, away. Yeah.
Was 3-0, right? After a big injury, do you really want to get him in, especially when they know that they're not really getting anywhere in the Premier League?
Yeah.
So, like, does he really play?
Yeah.
I think if you really want to trade him, like, I don't know, like, maybe try to see if someone has like a Garnacho or something. Right? Like, I think that may be, like, you're trying to, like, hedge the bets there, because, similar sort of position. Other than that, yeah, like, I don't know how much he starts, right? Because at this point, it's playoffs if you don't follow, like, the 38 game weeks, right?
Yeah.
So for some leagues, so, like, it is crunch time, so
yeah, and like
some of the leagues might not be able to trade anymore.
Yeah, and the thing is like they're not really playing for anything in the Premier League, like. So why would you, like, I get that at one point, like when he was fit and firing, he looked like a top 10 player in all leagues and stuff like that. He was scoring like that at least. But surely United must be trying to focus on keeping him fit or building fitness, assuming they get to that Europa League final as well. I mean, he came off the bench in the 84th minute against Athletic Bilbao, but yeah, I don't think, like, I wouldn't be expecting much in the league, is basically what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be trading out, like, studs to get him in just because of how good he was at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Do you want to take our final question?
Yeah. So Andrew has asked this. Can you hem without hawing? Example, at Mr. Naru hems and haws about the state of United.
Do you even know what hem and haw is?
I was gonna ask you. I was hoping, Sanji, thank God I'm asking, because I don't know what hem and hawing is. Is this a British term?
I don't think so, bro. Like, I had to do a quick Google search. So, like, on Merriam-Webster's website, when I searched up hem and haw, it said to stop often and change what one is saying during speech because one is not sure of what to say or because one is trying to avoid saying something, or to take a long time before making a decision about what to do. So umming and ahhing?
Umming and ahhing, maybe? Yeah, like, right? But specifically about United, maybe it's like admitting that you're not a good team anymore and it will be a while before you're gonna be a good team. So maybe that's what you're umming and ahhing about.
Yeah, I guess can you do that about the state? Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what this question is really asking.
I mean, is it the state of United as a team? Is it state of United as a club? I feel like there's just problems everywhere. It's not just on the pitch, it's definitely off the pitch too. Like, they're trying to, like, save money by firing these like people who make, like, a quarter of what, like, Marcus Rashford used to. Not even a quarter, like less than, like, a tenth of what Marcus Rashford used to make, right? Yeah. So I feel like all over it's just like a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Dumpster fire of a club. It's great though. It's so good.
Yeah. Again, you know what? Like I said, builds adversity, and if, like, you're not used to all of our friends, and Sanji, I'm like, you can assume this for yourself, is we picked up teams that were winning.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That had some sort of success,
Yeah.
right? So now you don't know anything but, so now you're just like,
Yeah. It's this is the thing, is like I kind of miss about hanging out with you boys and like being around Zayn, is like I've now missed out on like the most miserable period of Manchester United. I've not been around Zayn to like see the look on his face.
I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like he's admitted to it, right? So, which isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like like at a certain point it was really fun.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's even fun if both teams are doing well and one edges over the other one, but there hasn't been, I haven't seen that consistent level of football from both teams,
Yeah.
When United were good, Liverpool were mostly shit.
Yeah.
When now that United are shit, Liverpool are mostly good, right?
Yeah.
So there's very rarely a moment where I'm just like, it's mostly just pity from one another. So
all right. Those are our questions, and that is the pod. Ross, it felt like walking down memory lane with you, brother.
For sure, man. This brings back good memories. And you know what? Like, it's just, life is so busy.
Yeah.
And our schedules don't align. And if we were in the same time zone, Sanji, I'm sure we would have definitely been able to make it a lot work. But just that time zone difference, I don't want you to be up until 1 o'clock. Because you're also a busy man, and that's unfair to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I do this because I love what I do. I mean, the community, the people that you meet. I mean, the game itself.
Yeah.
Our pod and our community has grown into something that I would have never imagined when we first started this during the pandemic. But yeah, it's hard not to kind of stick through it. But listen, if you're ever around and available, the timing of my pod stuff is never gonna change. If you're ever around and available, bro, all you need to do is be like, yo, you mind if I come on the pod? And it's I'm not even gonna blink. Like, I'll be like, yeah, bro. Like,
yeah. Sanji, correct me if I'm wrong. Our first episode was after the Liverpool-Chelsea game, after which Liverpool lifted the 2020 trophy.
Yeah.
Like the Prem, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
This is a full circle moment.
There you go, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when Liverpool won, I was like, I have to bring you back on. Like, because I thought it was...
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. Let me know when. Yeah. And when the first goal went, be like, is Sanji gonna change the time? I was like, no, we're gonna win. 100%. What am I talking about? This is Spurs.
Yeah.
Lads.
It's Tottenham.
It's Tottenham.
Yeah, man. Like, it was so cruel that when you guys last won the title, there were no fans in the stadium, pandemic and all that. So I was like, yeah, you guys won. I have to bring you on the pod. Like, thank you so much for making the time, bro. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad I could make the time. I'm glad I'm was able to do this. It was good. It's good to be able to talk and see everyone, and good to be able to share some bants.
Yep.
And we've always said that friendly fire is okay sometimes, but it's, we both have collective hate for some other clubs. United, Arsenal, mostly. So it's always good to be able to kind of do that. And it's a good way to wrap it up, because Liverpool just won the league, and no one was expecting us to win, and everyone was I think, Sanji, you were the only one who were like, no, Liverpool are gonna win the league. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So your karmic kind of energy, definitely did something. I don't know if I read this. I don't know if we talked about this, Sanji, or not, because I know when Klopp was leaving, everyone was like, oh, this is really sad, and Liverpool are going to be in a bit of a mess afterwards and things like that. Talking about Arsenal, talking about United, talking about even Tottenham to a certain extent, things like that after Pochettino. But someone read or someone said something, and I think this is true, is that when Liverpool was when Bill Shankly was manager of Liverpool of the old, right? He won few trophies, but he set a good foundation and he set a culture for the club. And then Bob Paisley came in and won the trophies, right?
Yeah.
And what someone said was, I think this is going to be something similar, is Klopp came, he set the foundation, he set a culture. He won trophies. He won basically everything, right? I think barring the Europa League that he But basically everything else he was in, like, he won, right? But not a lot of trophies because it also aligned with like Real Madrid and Man City and things like that. But he set a foundation for someone like Slot to come in, slightly shift the team, slightly make it those tactical changes that can allow for hopefully a lot more continued and regular success.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's what we're gonna see here.
Yeah. I mean, I won't put it past you guys to win the title next season as well. I think you're favorites. I mean, obviously, like, there's Man City, there's Pep, there's Haaland, but it's gonna be a totally different Man City without KDB.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's gonna be a team that still needs to try to develop its identity again because they've made some signings with Omar Marmoush. Rodri's gonna come back from injury and everything. Like, I think there will obviously be that standard that we are used to seeing from Man City.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, I think it was reported that one of the biggest reasons or one of the biggest clauses Van Dijk had in his contract extension was that he wants to see the signing of at least 3 or 4 more players. And everyone's saying that, like, Liverpool are maybe gonna roll out the treasure chest this window. They're gonna get some wages. Trent is unfortunately almost left. I don't think he's staying at this point. I think all the signs are pointing towards him being at Real Madrid next season. But you've got Salah, you've got Van Dijk, so you've got a really good core. You've got a goalkeeper coming up as well.
Yeah.
Who's currently on loan, right? So you've got that leadership, that experience of winning the Prem, and now you're gonna bring in hopefully a few more players that can like stabilize and make this strong squad stronger. So
yeah, very, very exciting time for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So before we sign off, Russ, any final words?
It was great to be back. For those of you who were used to Sanjay and I going back and forth, hopefully it reminds you of better times. And for those of you who haven't heard of me on this pod before, I'm glad I could be on, and you can finally hear about who I am, and hopefully it was a good impression. If you are United and Arsenal fans, sorry, but not sorry. Bans are the reason why we play this game, and it's the reason why we watch this game. So that's going to be a part of it. I've been a part of, on my side, a lot of bans that have just been brutal. So it's been finally good to just just give. So that's all right. You'll get your turn again, just not anytime soon. And yeah, like Sanjay said, have fun. It's towards the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Another season is under the wraps, and then we'll see football again in August.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is just enjoy it while it lasts, because I mean, as much as we love summer, there's no Prem in the summer, man. So it's a little bit sad at the same time,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
just enjoy the ride. Yeah, cool. All right, brother. And listeners, I guess I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.